Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today. Today we're going to be reviewing my first legendary champion that I ever pulled. It is Biggin. Biggin is an absolute beast. In today's video, we're going to discuss the proper gear to put on Biggin, where he shines in the game. We're going to rate him in every different area of the game. We're also going to talk about his masteries, talk about the lessons that I've learned. As I mentioned, he's the first legendary that I've ever pulled, so I've had a long time to use him, see which stats really matter, and just have the pleasure of playing him a lot inside this game because he's incredible. He's a really good champion. So if you're lucky enough to have him, I knew there was like a month or two ago there was like extra pull rates for Biggin. If you have him, congratulations, because he's an absolute beast. I use him as my arena nuker. I kind of sub him in and out for a void champion depending on the affinity of the enemies, right? So he is from the Ogren tribe, obviously. Here he is a magic affinity champion, and he's incredible. He scales incredibly well, meaning that his attack percentage is really important. We're going to talk about his gear in a moment, but let's hop into his kit, start talking a little bit about his skills, what makes Biggin so good, and then we're going to talk about priorities, right? So Head Splitter, his A1, everything is an AOE, right? So attacks one enemy, attacks all enemies one time if this first attack is critical, so making sure he's at 100% crit rate is going to be imperative with him, right? On his A2, Forward Charge, attacks all enemies, has a 30% chance of placing a stun debuff for one turn, also has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decrease accuracy debuff for 2 turns. So this is one of his all of his skills are incredible, but stun, again guys, we're kind of reviewing this on every single review just in case you're not sure what stun is. Stun, the champion with this debuff is unable to act for X amount of turns. In this case, it would be 1 turn. Cooldowns are not refreshed while stun is active. So stun is like the best, the best of these kind of effect or mitigating, whatever, compared to sleep, for example. Let's look at sleep really quickly here. So sleep, the difference between stun and sleep, stun is way better, okay? So if you have champions that have stun versus champions that have sleep, you really want to focus on those stuns because stun is their cooldowns are not refreshed while they are stunned, whereas sleep, as soon as those champions that have sleep on them take any sort of damage, boom, the sleep is gone, and their passive skills are still active during the time they have the sleep on. So stun's just so much better than sleep. It's hard to even compare the two, but just so you know, guys, stun is incredible. Any champion that has stun on as part of their kit there's just a lot of value there, especially an AoE stun like Biggin has. For that reason, I suggest you get his accuracy up. I want to be landing those stuns, and you can see when booked has a 45% chance of getting those stuns on, so they land pretty often considering it is an AoE. Another reason that makes him a great arena nuker in my opinion. And then go to Molten Slag, which is his last ability. Now, Forward Charge does the most sheer damage of all of his abilities, but it's only hitting once as compared to 1 point whatever in the first one, and Molten Slag is just an AoE that hits twice, so attacks all enemies 2 times, so overall it's doing more damage, so just kind of to note there. But the Forward Charge with the stun and the accuracy debuff is super solid. And then his A3, Molten Slag, attacks all enemies 2 times, decreases the turn meter by 25%, has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns, and that can also be booked up to 45%. So this guy, you're starting to see why he's such a beast. And he's a great champion to book, unfortunately, because he's legendary, but he really is. You can really get those cooldowns down when you book Biggin, so I'd recommend doing so. He's a great champion to invest your books in. If there's any legendary out there, he's on the short list of probably the top 10, in my opinion, to actually use your books on. So those are his abilities. Now, I mean, it's crazy. What do you even start with in the arena? I go with his Molten Slag, even though it autos. If you auto attack, it will go with Forward Charge. Just something to note there. But I go with Molten Slag because of that turn meter debuff. I really, and that can't be resisted, I believe. So that's just incredible. Decreases the turn meter by 25%. Really important in arena, obviously, right? So those are his abilities. His aura increases accuracy in dungeons by 90. Not bad if you don't have anything to go in dungeon farming, but really not that great either, right? You're usually not going to be using him as your team leader. So let's talk about his masteries now. So I've tried out so many different combinations on his masteries, and I just want to share with you guys what works best for me, and then I'll give you a couple different variations. So I apologize for my overlay, guys. I really need to fix it with the Space Station Gaming over there, because it goes right over the offensive overlays. So right now, I actually have Helm Smasher on as his last tier offensive capability. Biggin is really, really good when you have any ability or any gear set that ignores defense on your opponents, okay? So that's why Helm Smasher is so good. 50% chance of ignoring 25% of the target's defense. For skills that ignore defense, this 25% is in addition to the amount ignored by the skill. So he doesn't have skills that ignore defense, but 50% chance of ignoring 25% of the target's defense is just huge. Again, I have him built mostly for Arena, but this is great for campaign as well. Now, you really have a few options. You could go War Master if you want to on Biggin. You could also go with Flawless Execution to get that crit damage up. So you have a lot of options there. Either way, you're going to be going all the way down the offensive tree and making your decision. Again, Helm Smasher is the way to go in my opinion. I really am a big fan of this ability. Now, you also have a big option here of defense versus support, right? I like having high accuracy because I like landing all those debuffs. The decreased speed, the decreased accuracy, and the stun are all really important to me. They're a big part of his kit. And with any champion, you guys should really make a note of all the debuffs that they have so you can really get a good assessment of how valuable accuracy is going to be on that champion, okay? So I went down the support tree. And, you know, there's a lot of cases. I didn't go with the Lore of Steel because I actually don't have any basic artifact sets on him, but you could go that way. And you could also go with Master Hexer if you wanted to. I went with a Sniper. And if you want to go down the defensive tree, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I actually had him built on the defensive side as well instead of support for a long time, but I just need that accuracy to be higher, so I switched it up. But in defense, you're really going to go down, you're really going to go down for Retribution. You want that counterattack, right? Because he's a beast when he has counterattack. Right? I mean, picture Arena defense on him with counterattack on that A1. He can like one-shot sometimes if you're lucky, but he can just do a ton of damage. So having Retribution on him is just incredible, and Cycle of Revenge is also good on him. So Cycle of Revenge and counterattack would be where you want to end things on the defensive tree if you decide to go that route. It's really your choice. Again, I've had a little bit better success going on the support tree for him. Now let's talk about artifacts. So if I had a Savage set that ignores defense, I think it's 30% of enemy defense. I have Savage, but the gear's all crap, right? So let's take a quick look at what I have, just out of curiosity. Now I'm kind of wondering what I have here, but I just don't think I have enough at this point to put anything on him that would be good. Yeah, ignores 25% of enemy defense. My bad on that. But yeah, no, I just don't have enough, right? I need 4 pieces, and it's just not great gear. So I'm not going to use a Savage set, but I would recommend Savage. He's really, really good with Savage. He's really, really good with Cruel sets too. Anything that ignores target's defense is really good on Biggin. Again, unfortunately, I don't have that gear for him. I could probably move to some Cruel gear, but right now I just really like the way that I have him built for the most part, right? Let's look at his total stats first, then we'll talk about priorities in terms of stats. So his total stats here, I have 36k HP, kind of squishy, given that he is maxed out. Attack really high, he scales really well. His damage is incredible, guys. So getting as high attack as possible is going to be very important. Attack percentage is really going to be one of the first priorities. Attack percentage rather, crit rate to 100 and then crit damage are both going to be like the top 3, you know, easy. Now my crit rate is too high, 123. I feel like there's a lot of wasted kind of percentage there that I need to reallocate to crit damage or attack. I just don't have the gear to kind of make that happen. The accuracy, 211 is solid. Really want him over 200. Really over, you know, if you're going to be end-to-end game Arena, I've seen people using him 400 plus. You really need like 400 accuracy if you want to compete in end game Arena and be landing your debuffs, right? So, or you could just use him as primarily just a nuker and not even worry about his accuracy. I haven't even given that any thought because I'm not top, 200 in the Arena. So Other than that, speed is, you know, being your nuker. I don't think that speed is imperative to him. Oftentimes he's going to be going last anyway. He goes last for me. So 172 is perfectly respectable in my opinion. So that's basically his stats, how I have him built. And then we already talked about his priorities, right? So check out that attack percentage, 26 in glyph, and then glyph to 28% on his weapon. That's really, really solid. And then on his helmet, I have some crit rate on there. I have more attack percentage. I have some accuracy, which is really important as well. And then I have his shield, crit rate, crit damage, speed, and accuracy. And then I have crit rate gauntlets. I would love to switch those out for crit damage gauntlets. But crit rate or crit damage is really going to be the direction that you go. I just can't make up that much crit rate and then to keep them at 100%, getting rid of these at this point. But in the future, that's what I really want to do. And then on his chest, you almost definitely want to go with as high as you can get attack percentage on his chest. And then his boots, you have some flexibility. You can go with speed like I do, because look at these, the boots are really solid. I wish that was attack percentage and not attack flat. But either way, crit rate and crit damage both rolled is not bad at all on 6-star speed boots. And they are savage. Maybe I have to look into that. Anyway, yeah, I'm a big fan of how I have them built. In terms of my sets, I have crit damage and crit damage. So 40% extra crit damage on those two sets. It would be hard justifying taking those off right now, just the way that I have them built. On his banner, you want to go accuracy. On his amulet, you want to go crit damage. And on his ring, you kind of want to go attack and get those percentages on the, look at that attack, 11% plus 1. So again, a really solid kind of build. I'm really happy with how he performs. Let's go ahead and try him out in the arena here, guys, because that's where I've been using him the most lately. So let's see. Right now, it's really tough. I pushed pretty early. It was reset yesterday. I don't know. I don't think I could beat that team. Let's see. We'll start easy, then we'll work our way up. Actually, you know what? Screw the arena right now. Let me just show you where he's best, or where most of you would probably be using him. Let's go. We're on Nightmare right now. Let's just go. I don't know. I could use some speed lifesteal. So I'm gonna go solo here. Watch how fast he takes down everybody. We're in Nightmare again, and he's a monster, right? So he's gonna be like one-shotting most of the opponents here. This is just easy. All his skills are AoE, as we talked about. Like, boom, see you later, right? It's just, he's an absolute beast. That's it. That's as easy as it gets, right? 13 seconds, thank you very much. 11k gold, awesome. Like, he is so fast. I don't know if he can clear 12. I can try, though. Why not, right? I don't know if he can clear, like, let's go, like, I don't know. Here, affinity matchup is actually really good for us, so I think he'll be fine, right? Let's go ahead and see. So again, I imagine he's gonna tear through everything. This is insane. I mean, you can see the damage he's putting up too. It's like, it's not even fair. Wow, 8 seconds. Thank you very much, you know? So that is Biggin inside campaign. An absolute beast. Let's go ahead and now go back to the arena here. I don't know about this. All these dudes look super tough. You can see that it's day 1 right now, or day 2 of the reset. I think I can take this. Ooh, 204 power. When they have such high power like that at this level, it means they have really high resist, because resist gives the most champion power out of anything. And that kind of scares me, because my team doesn't want to face a lot of high resist. So let's go with maybe this team. Yeah. All right, a little bit easier, but at least I can show you how he kind of works here. So you guys have seen my arena team by now quite a bit. I switch between Biggin and Umbral Enchantress, depending on who I need, given the opponent's affinities. If I have a lot of spirit affinities, I'll definitely use Biggin every single time, even if there's just 1 or 2. And if they have a lot of force affinities, I'll sub Biggin out. So let's go with Bat Swarm. That will decrease everybody's turn meter on the enemy team. And now let's start out with the Molten Slag, and you'll see it's hitting for like anywhere from like 8 to 16k. but keep in mind these guys have fairly high defenses, so it can get even higher. It can get oftentimes as 20, 25k, and his A2 is always like around 17 to 28k or so for me. Well, I shouldn't say always, obviously depending on the opponent's defense, but most of the time it's quite substantially higher. So here we go. We can give his A2 a shot here. Let's see. Of course, calling me a liar there, right? That was not high at all, but again, just must have a solid defense, the opponent's team. So, but you guys can see this one was pretty easy. Let's take a little bit more of a difficult job for our next one here. And oh man, all these Torments in the arena lately on defense, everybody is running him. I don't have him. I wasn't able to fuse him. Didn't have any of the. I only have like one, I think, of the champions required. So let's go to the next one here, guys. Torment, dude, you're killing me. All right, this one seems very interesting. Let's go ahead and do this. They have high defense as well because they have that defense aura, but either way, you'll see how if we do this strategy right, let's open up with the stun this time, right? So we can open up with a stun, hitting there, see, 25k, 24k, 15k, I believe, something like that. And now we can just go ahead and put them all to sleep. And then we can potentially stun them all again. And then we can go ahead and use that turn meter decrease. And bye-bye a couple of them. Miscreated Monster still standing here along with Torment. Let's go ahead and reset all the abilities and do it again. And that's the disgusting thing about having Kaimar in the arena. It's just like, okay, just rinse and repeat, basically, right? So now we'll put it on auto. And guys, that is pretty much going to wrap up this guide of Biggin. I think we've covered pretty... Oh, I do want to... Actually, I lied. I do want to kind of rate him everywhere. He's really good in dungeons. He's really good in... He's really good in Spider, but like he doesn't do a ton of damage to the Spider, right? So I wouldn't say he's like S tier against Spider, even though it makes sense that he would be. He's good for support. If you need like help just nuking down AoEing the Spiderlings, totally good. But when you get to end game, like Spider's 18, 19, 20, he's not as amazing as you might think he would be. At least that's been in my experience with him. But let's go ahead and rank him. But he's still like super solid, don't get me wrong. So let's go, let me just, it's bothering me that I have a quest open. So let's go to the champions, go to Biggin here and review him. So campaign locations, like he's an easy 5, right? There's no one really better. I'm going to give him a 5 still in Spider's Den because, again, he's an AoE nuker who's incredible. So you can't go wrong. You just need to think about like having that Cold Heart or that Royal Guard or whatever for the main damage based on enemy HP. Arena offense, I'm going to give him a 5. Minotaur's Labyrinth, give him a 5. He's just amazing. Arena defense, see, he has a 4.4 in arena defense, but last season, 2 days ago from this recording, I noticed, I don't know, maybe 10 people on the top leaderboards using him on defense. He's incredible, especially if you have that Retribution on the counterattack. He's an amazing nuker. He's underrated, even in arena defense, I think. So I'm actually going to give him a 5. I don't always run him on defense, but I should, I think. Especially after seeing the meta kind of change a little bit last season. I'm going to run him. So Dragon's Lair, he is a beast. I'll give him a 5. Clan Boss, he is not great Clan Boss, obviously. He's an AoE nuker, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give him a 3. I don't know, give him a 2, right? He's not doing much against Clan Boss. Ice Golem's Peak, really solid. I'll give him a 5. Void, 5. Spirit, 5. He's great in all of the keeps. Fire's Night Castle, not that great. I'll give him a 4, maybe a 3. He's great. If you're having trouble getting through the early stages, he's amazing. No one can clear trash like Biggin, in my opinion, right? So he's incredible. But against the actual Fire Knight, he's not that great. He's not doing multiple hits, and he's not doing like that money nuke when you get that shield off. So I'm actually going to give him a 2. I don't think well, it ranks him as acceptable. I think he's acceptable, but that's about it. And then Force Keep, well, obviously Force is an anti-affinity, so I'll give him a 3. So there we go, guys. That's how I'd rank him. I hope you enjoyed this guide. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe for more guides coming to you guys really soon in Raid Shadow Legends. Appreciate it, guys. And as always, take care.